I'm appearing in point 44. They are the female devotees of Lord Ayyappa supporting the existing practice. Only for the sake of introduction, nothing to do with the argument of this case. I have given additional written submission. My lords will also may take these submissions as my submissions now, my lords, not the main submissions. My lords, yes, sir. May invite your lordship's attention to page number 2, straight away issue-wise submissions. My lords, I'm not going to history of the case, my lords, or history of the legislation, parliament debates, nothing. Everything is already covered. The best of my ability, I try to address, my lords, the query which and the debate which happened in this court regarding this issue. My lords, the first point is issue number 1, page number 2. Let's got it, my lords, hard copy.
Yes, sir.
Let's. The question arises, my lords, is there is a conflicting interest between the two individuals in exercising right under Article 25(1) as well as his right qua 26, the community. That's the first point I try to address. The conflict between the two individuals, my Lord Justice Bakshi pointed out, what is the rights of the dissenter? How he is going to exercise. Kindly similar paragraph 1, I give what is profess, what is practice, what is propagate. Now let's kindly come to paragraph 2. Hoffeldian theory of fundamental jural relations treats the rights and duties as a correlatives, meaning that every fundamental right owed to a person imposes a corresponding duty on others not to infringe that right. An individual right to profess and practice according to their conscience includes the right to disagree with the existing beliefs or practices. However, the exercise of this right cannot be allowed to question the rationality of another belief, faith, and religious practices through the courts of law. They may agree with me, they may not agree with me. They cannot go to the court and saying that let this practice is irrational or this practice is bad. That is the first principles, my lord. There's a duty cast on the every individual to protect and respect the rights of the other person at the same. The Constitution did not freeze religious beliefs or practices as existing on the day of its adoption. New thinking and beliefs may give a birth to a new philosophy or even a religion, and those religious practices are also protected under Articles 25, 26. Taking for the moment, my lords, it's not necessary I have to prove 100 years practice or 1000 years practice. That is not contemplated in the Constitution. If today I may come out with a new idea, new philosophy, that philosophy may turn into a practice. There will be a followers that can be tested by your lordships on the basis of the belief of that particular group, not whether it existed 1000 years back or not. So if that is the condition, it should be existed the oldest one, and it has to be practiced for longest period. We went out of Buddhism, Jainism, Sikhism. The Constitution did not stop that. It will flourish. In India, it will flourish. However, a person dissents with a set of existing religious practice does not have the right to join the same without the first adhering to the principles connected to those practices and rituals. Any claim to a right to alter the existing religious practice as per such a dissenter's thought or desire will violate the rights of others protected under the very same articles. Next is Sabrimala. I'm not touching it. Every paragraph, I'm adding how it's connected to Sabrimala. I'm not touching that. Let's say straight away going to the point 2. Well, issue number 2 and issue number 3, I combined it, my lords, and put it in the 3 headings. Well, the first one is, my lords, Article 25(1), conflict with Article 26(b) or 26. My lord, this is my submission, my lords, would be a structural primacy of Article 26 over individual rights under Article 25(1). My lords, what I wanted to say, my lords, any conflict, this is your lordship have seen historical fact, how this 26 and how 25(b) is coined. Well, it's when there is no subject to call, the subject to the part of this constitution is not mentioned. Taking into entire structure of this Article 26, if there is any conflict between 25(1) and 26B, 26B should prevail, my lord. That is what the structure. That's why I may say, my lord, kindly see in the paragraph 3, after extracting paragraph 5, 6, 7, kindly see paragraph 8. Thus, if there is a conflict between an individual rights under Article 25(1) and rights of the community or a group, my lords, I am borrowing a word group here. My lords, religious denomination is mentioned in it's not mentioned as a group, but your lordship issue, when your lordships are framing other than the religious denomination or group, that is a conscious inclusion of the word should to expand and wider the scope of the Article 26. So I am using the word of group, my lords, here, borrowed from your lordships. Under Article 26B, then the latter right must prevail over the former. Thus, an individual petitioner's right under Article 25 to enter into Sabrimala temple must yield to the right of the community of Lord Ayyappa devotees under Article 26B to maintain the religious condition of their worship. Second, these are two parts. What happened in this case is religious denomination. Lord Ayyappa was not, association was not treated as a religious denomination. So the threshold, they have been thrown out. Once it's not a religious denomination, there is no question of exercising right under Article 26. So I have to deal two things in this case. One is the conflict between 25(2) versus 26, and whether what is the determination, how to determine the religious denomination. So first I deal, my lords, 25 and 25, 25(2) and 26. Article 26 is not subject to any other provisions of Part 3 Constitution. It is a standalone article. There may be instances, my lords, I differ from number of senior counsels appearing this side. There may be instances, however, where a law made under Article 25 to conflicts with the rights guaranteed to a religious denomination or section thereof under Article 26 Constitution. It may infringe, it may invade. Article 25(2) is the only enabling provision and does not confer any right to an individual. Article 25(2)(a) is a general provision applicable to all religions, while Article 25(2)(b) contains two parts. Part A, a general provision on a power of state to make law providing for social welfare or reform applicable to all religions. B, a special provision on power of the state to make laws throwing open Hindu religious institution of public character to all classes and sections of Hindus, applicable to Hindus only. Article 26B is a general provision governing the rights of all religions and religious denominations, sections, groups, and organizations. So we have one general, though it is a special right, general provisions covering all the organizations, all the communities, all the groups under 26. We have a 25(2)(b). I'm not reading 25(2) as a subject to. 25(1) is subject to. 25(2) is a standalone provision according to my submission. It's standalone provisions. So the standalone provisions have two parts. One is for specifically Hindus, one is for general. So now we have two independent standalone constitutional provisions. That is where the difficulty comes, my lords, when these conflicting with each other, then your lordship have to decide.
Please tell us whom does it apply to? 26(2)(b) applies to whom? Let us find out from
26(2)(b) applicable to, my lords, all religions in first part.
The first part speaks about persons. So it applies to all persons. Persons of conscience, belief, practice, propagate.
Yes,
so it will apply to all the persons.
yes, my lords.
But it will not apply to the denomination to the.
I say apply.
You are saying, see, the standalone provision means what does it mean?
Well, standalone provision is, my lord, that's why I'm
I
there.
am trying to tell you, when you make a submission, you should try to make legally sustainable the sense. If you say, if 100 people join together and create a religious denomination, if you accept the argument, under 25(1) they have a right, 25(2) it can be regulated, but it can't be regulated to the it's only as.
No, I'm saying it will be regulated. I'm coming there. That's what I'm saying. Well, that's what I say standalone means the right is standalone. It can be a standalone two rights in two different constitutional parts. Well, it's minority rights. It's a standalone, but it may come under the other provisions to regulate it. So standalone in the means, I'm not telling the lordship that you can't touch it. No, not in that sense. I'm sorry. I might have wrongly conveyed it. Standalone is a standalone rights conferred. Next I'm saying, lords, how it conflict comes. kindly see, 25(2)(b) will, law made under 25(2)(b) will definitely infringe the rights of 26.
Yet I think we are not made of it clear. This conflict you are saying, see now, according to you, there's a conflict between 26 and 25, correct?
No,
There
law
may be a-
made under the 25(2)(b) may infringe the rights under 26.
That's correct.
Correct, my lord?
Then the problem will be how do you give effect to?
That's
Okay,
what
now-
I'm reading next paragraph, my lord. That maybe your lordship may
Yes,
highlight.
yes.
Article 25(2) functions as an exception to Article 25(1). In that law made under Article 25(2)(a) or B may also interfere with the fundamental rights of the religions, religious denominations, sections, group or organization under Article 26. The validity of the law made under Article 25(2) will be tested on the touchstone of the fundamental rights guaranteed under Articles in Part 3 of the Constitution, including Article 26. The test of reasonableness, arbitrariness, discrimination, and proportionality will apply. This is, we can't have a watertight compartment. This is where your lordship, the power comes into that, when their challenge comes to your lordships. This honorable consistently and correctly upheld abolition of hereditary trustees and archagas and condemned the discrimination solely based on birth. I'm taking a moment for here. This is claimed as a religious practice. This for the particular group who asserted it. But your lordship looked into that. Your lordship can do two ways. One, your lordship say it is not a religious practice. It is a non-religious practice. Your lordship can uphold the law, or your lordship can uphold the law on the basis of 25(2) saying social reform. So this both aspects your lordship are exercising. So that is what the done. So 25(2)(b) can definitely, when law is made under the parameter, it will conflict. If the conflict comes, your lordship will adjudicate. That's what I wanted to say. So I'm not saying that you can't make a law, you don't have a power. I'm sorry if I have wrongly conveyed it. Since the state has the power to make the laws under Article 25(2), curtailing or interfering with the fundamental rights guaranteed under Article 25(1) and Article 26, the said power cannot be used to the extent of nullifying or destroying the fundamental rights guaranteed under Article 25(1) and Article 26(b) and make those rights odious. This is the one submission. So borrowing a word from Muller's Saidan judgment, let's kindly see what the court said. In my view, by the phrase laws providing for a social welfare and reform, it was not intended to enable the legislature to reform a religion out of its existency or identity. Dismantling the specific condition or practice of worship in a particular shrine under the guise of social reform would be akin to misusing Article 25(2)(b) as a tool of religious destruction than the social reform. This is my submission, my lords. When it coming to every facts, case to case basis, your lordship will apply accordingly to the situation.
Well, the city is already said that.
That's
Prima facie,
my lords.
will give.
I'm done with that point. Now, my lords, this is the most important question. My lords, did so religious denomination. My lords, your lordship have been shown how it started with a dictionary meaning, then how it is developed. My lords, it's developed to the extent in the Sabarimala case. I just wanted to read a ratio laid on by your lordships in Sabarimala case. What is a religious denomination? While holding Lord Ayyappa is not a religious denomination, paragraph 96, the lordship's Chief Justice Deepak Mishra has held for a religious denomination. I'm reading words, I'm not wasting your lordship time. For a religious denomination, there must be a new methodology provided for a religion. Mere observance of certain practices, even though for a long time, does not make it a distinct religion on the account. A religious denomination has gone to the extent now I have to give a new religion itself. That is the ratio. Now tomorrow, if your lordship is not determining this concept, what is religious denomination, this will be cited as a ratio, and all the 99% of Hindu majority will be wiped out. They don't have any right under 26 because they are not a denomination. I will take a lordship why I am saying this point. Kindly come to my third point C. Let's here I gave up how this origin. I'm not wasting your lordship's time. There are 4 constitutions which my lane front also senior also pointed out. Irish constitution, Polish constitution, Yugoslavia constitution which now doesn't exist because the country has gone. Then Italian constitution on the same year which we adopted uses these words. Polish does not use the word of denomination, but other 3 constitution uses the religious denomination. Plus, all these constitutions used to use this word term only for the purpose of majority, minority in all Christian religion or the religion whole. The problem came to us as we interpreted in the dictionary meaning, this which I gave also. Two dictionary gives two meanings. Dictionary meaning by saying that you should have a separate identity, separate distinguished name, a group which is separate from us. Plus, there is no when the Indian Constitution was adopted, there is no Hindu religious officially recognized denomination. A religious denomination Hindu came only through your lordship judgment. That means if Hindu religion denomination is not existing on the day, none of the Hindu will get a rights under protection under Article 26. So it is required your lordship's to interpretation to say religious denomination includes a religion as a whole. Then a section thereof will be interpreted a section in the religion. So vast majority of Hindu religion people who does not belong to a specific denomination. Well, I have done some research. People call it, I don't know who coined this word. Saivism, Vaishyavism, Saktism and Smartism. What they did is the Smartism is the people who are not following any other category, they will be brought here. So either you will also call as the people who are not belonging to any of the ism as a Smartism. So the section in the Smartism will get the right protection under Article 26, or your lordship may kindly to say religious denomination. I'm sorry.
Smartism.
Smartism, else I put it in the kindly see my notes. I think say SG also put that word. I also searched it, I got it. Else I referred it by paragraph. Page 6, my lords, I refer it. Smartism. Saktism also not there. That also coined.
Shaktiism.
Saktism. Because if you have a Saivism, if you have Vaishnavism, why can't we have Saktism? So Saktism.
Shaktiism, all these women, they go.
Yes. Kali.
No, Shakti is the temple in Madura.
Durga temple.
No, in Madras. Madras, they wear the red dress.
Adi Parashakti temple. Adi Parashakti, Melmaruth, Adi Parashakti temple. Red saree.
Melmarvathu.
Red saree, Melmaruth.
That is a new
concept. New
denomination. Melmarvathu. Adi Parashakti.
They're using Smartism.
They wear red dress and go, the women.
And used for Smartism. Smartaism, that's what they're cutting. Not Smartism, Smartaism. Maybe Smartaism.
No, you can also say Smartas or Smarts.
Smart, because they go everywhere and they get the blessing of all the gods. There is a difficulty. Why?
Essentially, they practice, 5 gods, not only one
Yes,
god.
all the gods.
No, 5.
Brahma,
Vishnu, Shiva,
Krishna,
Ganesha, and
Muruga,
Muruga, and Shakti.
Sakti.
But Vaishnavites,
They
only Vishnu.
Only Vishnu. Vishnu is the sole superior. No other god. So that's the problem for.
Gopal Subramaniam has said Panchayatana in his text.
No, but the problem for us, my lords, why we are before you, Lord, for 75 years, the interpretation given for the religious denomination shut the rights of the majority of Hindus. I may say, my lords, for coming from Tamil Nadu and Kerala, 95% do not belong to any denomination, which so-called denomination approved by your lords in this court. So where do we go? I just cited my lords Tolkappiyam. It's in the page number 5.
One way is in the denomination means the temple follows Shaivite worship, Vaishnavite worship, or Sri Vaishnavite, at least in South India. They are the practices. Therefore, it is called denomination.
No, it's kindly
Now, if it is a Shaivite type of worship, then the Vaishnavites cannot say that it has to be like a Vaishnavite form of worship. There is a difference in the
Yes,
difference.
yes,
Therefore, that form of worship is protected.
correct.
That
But
has nothing to do with
nothing
that.
to do with
You should have an organization.
That's my assumption.
Not necessary.
Not necessary.
A Hindu is a Hindu. He can go to any temple.
No, that's why I'm telling you, in Tamil Nadu, there is a Kuladevam, that is a family deity, clan deity. Then there is a village god. So they have a unique practice. They
Yes.
won't fall any kind of ism or denomination. Whether they have a right or not under Article 26, that is the question before your lordship. They have every right. 26 does not throw the majority of the people of this country and protect only 10% of the people. So that is how why I'm saying with the pay in balance, that is how entire judgment from 1950, Silurmat started till the Sabarimala went on, and
That is the reason why I put a question to the Senior Counsel, Local Association. There may be private denominations also. Maybe it become, see, public character.
yes,
There may be, as you said, if each place is, India is such a wonderful country where even at each place is different.
that is the
There may
spirit.
be some family deities, right, some clan,
Clan.
group,
Village god,
community, and village, it will be there.
Devaru.
Yes.
I am coming for a village, my lords, we have a village god. The worship is different. My lords, we have 3 temples. I'm just giving it for a second example.
Gram Devata.
Grama Devata.
Devata.
Grama Devata. We have a 3 temples, my lords. It's a Vishnu temple.
Just.
Brahmaniman also said that if religious denomination is to encompass the religion per se,
Local bird.
then the makers would have used the word religion in 26, as in 25(1),
So once you.
every religion or any section thereof. Instead of doing that, they use the word denomination.
Like you have.
So denomination must be given a distinct and different meaning from religion. If we give a generic meaning, as you are suggesting, that the religion encompasses everyone and it should be treated as a denomination in contradistinction to other religions. If we do that, then we will be giving the same meaning to the word religion in 25(1) and making the 2 words same. But the makers have used consciously denomination in 26 and religion in 25(1). So
May I
that
answer
is
it?
something which needs to be
Yes,
interpreted.
that is the debate, my lords, that is required to be considered.
That request.
My lords, kindly consider, my lords, why we can't say that, my lords.
Followed it. We don't, that has.
No, we can't say, my lords, the founders of the constitution have made a mistake. We can't.
Your submission
Submission.
that it cannot create class within class.
That's correct. That's
That
what I want.
Someone is ascribed with denomination and higher status in a 26(b), whereas as you say, a village god or a temple or a group of people having a certain form of worship or practice does not get the protection of 26(b). However, the legal interpretation that you are giving of denomination may become problematic because we will be reading an independent expression consciously used by the constitution maker and equating denomination with religion.
But that's why.
That is the.
But that's why I gave a suggestion, 2 things, my lords. Either your lordship read as a religion as a whole, so that everybody will be covered, or your lordship divide a Hindu center denomination, whatever the matter, it may be residuary is a denomination. But that is also a different way of your lordship approaching. But what I wanted to place before your lordship.
See, what you are saying, see,
more relevance in a non-Hindu religion.
Yes, it is meant for non-Hindu religion, which is organized, my lord.
there's no need to go into all those things now. If you understand 25(1), it says about conscience. It doesn't speak about religion, 25(1). So if a common believer having a conscience and then professing it, propagating it, they would form a denomination by themselves. The expansion is much wider than what you are saying. You have prima facie, I'm in agreement because you have to give, see,
Wider.
give effect to the conscience, followed by the belief and practice and professing. That is protected. The intention is to give the flexibility to that group. To that group. Therefore, wider import will not be given on the definition of the denomination, religious denomination under 26, to make it inclusive of all different sects and different groups, because that's why it says sects thereof. It may emanate, see, maybe a common thing may emanate, but yes, the Senior Counsel are saying that you can have your faith in particular God and something go may beyond it also. Something go beyond it, something go under it also. It may partakes different characters. It's a question of we live into the belief and imagination of each one group. It's always, it's how people perceive it. It is their own, comprehension. It may be philosophical, maybe other things. Like they said, maybe something beyond. He has also quoted something. In our literature, in Ramayana in Tamil, I'll tell you, when in the battle, when Rama is facing Ravan, and he was on the process of losing, Ravan asked the question about, and after looking at Rama, he just says, "Who is this guy? Could it be Lord Shiva?
Because I am.
Could it be Lord Brahma? Could it be Lord Vishnu? Or he is the guy who is above all the three? Which means he goes beyond that.
Beyond all.
Could it be that person? It's only, it's only a thought process, but each one will have their own view. We cannot go into that, but you are right. Very difficult to define religious denomination in a particular bracket, because such a country of this nature where we have different faith, philosophy, thinking process. Better these things we should leave it to the believers themselves.
No, I stopped there.
You can also say 26 is in a way an expansion of 25(1).
Very well. That's also Lordship can say. But
Yes.
what troubling my Lord Justice Bakshi is, how do I substitute a word which you are trying to put it when it comes before us tomorrow, whether this organization is a denomination or not? Well, this general discussion is something different from your Lordship authoritative writing a judgment to cover which words your Lordship are going to use. If your Lordship are going to say religious denomination means religion itself, or your Lordship are going to say no, some group is sufficient, there is no denomination. This is a really as a challenge. I stop there.
We have understood that.
I stop there, my lords. Well, I gave some example in Tolkappiyam how the gods were worshipped in Sangam literature. I'm skipping that all this thing, my lords. Kindly come to my lords. Next point. My lords, morality, I'm not touching. It's argued, my lords, constitutional morality is governing principle. I adopt Union of India's argument. My lords, second, this is also one of the points which your lordship may consider and authoritative pronouncement may be recurring. Issue number 5. Well, what is the scope and extent of judicial review? Well, here we have two questions, my lords. How your lordship going to test is a practice as a religious practice, or expand your narrowed concept of essential or integral religious practice? And with which text your lordship are going to test it? Well, if your lordship are testing a Christianity, you can take a Bible, whether it's point of it, or Quran, your lordships can take it and verify it whether it's a religious practice or not. How do we test the Hindu religious practice? Well, I requested to paragraph 28, my lords. So 28, 29, I'm citing, my lords, Tolkappiyam and Tirukural. My lords, Tirukural and Tolkappiyam all are Sangam literature beyond 2000 years. Accepted, my lords, is a manuscript. Plus, all this don't refer any Vedas. Rig, Ajur, Sama, other one, none of the Vedas have been referred in any Tamil ancient literatures. Are you going to test my practice with the religious Vedic principles? It has to be tested to the believer of the Guru, not as a religion as a whole. Lord Ayyappa's practice was tested as a religious practice of Hindu religion as a whole. That's why it is not a practice, essential practice, needed practice. All this concept came. I request your lordship, looking at the diversity of Hindu religion, when this question comes before your lordship are testing first whether it is a religious practice or not. If it is not a religious practice, you don't have protection there. If it is a religious practice, I request your lordship don't go further to test it whether it's an essential or integral part. And how you lordship are going to test is a religious practice for the principles of the believer of the group, not as a religion as a whole. That submission I am done, my lords, that point.
The essential religious practice, don't take it in the technical sense. As opposed to a secular practice, another practice is essentially religious. That is different from saying essential religious practice.
That's what my Lord Chief Justice also pointed.
Essentially
Well, that also.
No, it's not a secular practice.
Sai Deepak is raised this.
Yes.
Yes. But another caveat here for here, my lords, your lordship tested on the basis of the belief of the particular group, not as a religion religion. So please kindly don't test my practice as a whole Hindu religious philosophy. You have a different beliefs. Belief I have given. Kandapanar in Sri College, just another 2 minutes. He is a person who went to worship a god, Lord Shivalinga. He is one among the 63 Nayanmars whose ideals are in the all Shiva temples in Tamil Nadu. Nine Mars. I'm sorry. He went and he is born by a hunter family. He is a hunter. So he got a devotion suddenly on the Shivalinga. His method of worship is he takes a water in mouth to clean the idol. And he served the flesh of the meat which he got it from everyday hunter and put it in the before the idol. The pujari who does everyday morning puja, he comes and sees what is happening. This somebody committing a sin on the god serving a flesh meat before the god. So he was crying. Then one day God said, every day it's happening alternatively. One day he was crying before the god. The god said, wait today and watch. As usual, Kandapa has come. He saw, he wanted to again do a puja, but bringing water in mouth because he is carrying a meat in one hand and his bow and other hand, so he can't carry water in hand, so he was carrying water in mouth. And he does all these things. Then he saw suddenly the bleeding in the eye of the god, lingam. He doesn't know what to do. He was wiping it and everything. This is the temple is there now. He's wiping everything. He's doing it. Still the bleeding is there. So what he did is to his knowledge, whatever comes out of his feeling, he removed his eye, fixed it in the eye of the Lord. Then bleeding stopped. He was very happy. He was praying. He was a real joy. Then suddenly he saw the other eye also bleeding. He doesn't know what to do because he got the idea now. Once you fix the eye, the bleeding will stop. So he has a second eye. He thought to take a second eye. Then he doesn't know how to fix it because if he removes both eyes, he will not be knowing the spot. He put his foot, thumb, finger on the eye of the linga, God, and he started to remove the second eye.
Vedara Kannappa. There's a very famous Kannada movie, Vedara Kannappa.
See, the Kalahasti temple, this is recorded. This is if you are going for ethics, I mean, Vedic principles or any mythology, this is also mythology. There, the God came in front of him and gave a moksha. So that is the practice.
So that is devotion.
Devotion with the practice of what he knows, the way how he want to worship. The way I want to worship is according to my choice. Well, it's what I know, the manner I will. The medium of connecting a God is according to my choice, my lord.
Understood.
That's all. Well, let's in the last
But
point.
Mr. Muth Raj, suppose we test it, you said that otherwise all Hindus go out if it is not given that meaning. Why? Suppose you don't want to be called a Hindu, but still you have a practice because worship is part of a religion. Now, if you belong to a community, you may not be identified as a Hindu per se, but if you are governed by the personal laws of Hindu, the marriage laws of Hindu, then automatically you come under the Hindu denomination, and then worship is a facet of religion. You come under the Hindu religion. How are you ousted?
May I explain to Malaz?
How are you ousted?
That religious denomination is a sect distinct from the religion, the definition which you are also followed and applied.
How it is distinct? It is part because otherwise, broadly you are Hindu.
That's what we want to say. We are part of it. Don't treat
How
to make
do you say that it throws you out? Why is that apprehension?
not apprehension. Malaz. This is what happened out of the past 75. That's why I was reading Lord's judgment, which again I'm reading for a religious.
Denomination, you don't get the production.
Let's do this right. First, I have to establish I am a religious denomination. Then only I will get into the Article 26 right.
You are because worship is a form of a religion. It's a religious activity. Setting up of a temple, worship, it's a religion.
Correct.
And then when you are part of religion and you broadly come under one, either Islam or Hinduism or Christianity, automatically you come under religious denomination.
Your Lordships are
Ousted.
Your Lordships are absolutely correct. But when we come to this code, the code says you are not a religious denomination. That's why again I'm reading. This is a Your Lordships are absolutely. This is what we want. This is what we want. This is what we want. Let's kindly last point, Malad. This is a non-religious, not person belonging non-religious denomination or group. Malad, this is an important question for your Lordship, which put it here. Your Lordship did not use a non-religious, a religious denomination. Lordship have used word or group. A group has a valid emergency. If you are lost, the grouping has, then we have a right. That's all. Then non-believer, my lords, it's very difficult, my lords. If I believe a Darwin theory, all religious faiths are superstitious. If I accept a Darwin theory, which is acceptable in scientific evolution theory of Darwin, is put to everyone, every religious belief is according to me, it's an irrational superstitious. Because it's contrary to the faith. So that's not a test. So a non-believer cannot test our belief. If it is my belief, it's my right. So that's that non-believer, PL on behalf of the non.
Okay. Article 25(1) is meant to protect a believer against anybody, including a non-believer. So long as I have a belief, the non-believer cannot come touch me.
He can different of opinion. That's a different thing. I'm very grateful, Matt. I might have taken a little longer time. I'm sorry. I'm very
Thank you, Mr. Jain, thank you very much. Yes, Mr. Nandagopal.
No, follows Darwin theory from the fish onwards.